What's up, y'all, and welcome back to the PCC podcast. Today, I have something a bit different going on today. I have a podcast prepared to read a letter to my 16-year-old self. And the reason why is because in my Instagram DMs, I have encountered more than ever before, more high schoolers, more girls in college following and finding my page. And I remember when that was me. I remember when I was in high school. I remember when I was really struggling with my food, relationship with food, body image, wanting to change my body, but not knowing how. And I found people on social media who I felt were inspiring, who I felt were uh, motivating. And I wanted to be like them, wanted to either look like them, be like them, or follow their teachings. And in all reality, I was just a high schooler, and with the services that we provide, we work with women typically that are at least 21, but typically millennial generation, so 28 to like 40, like early to mid 40s. And so I don't have, the capacity or the ability to work with teenagers one on one. But it's the same reason that I like to take opportunities to speak to volleyball clubs and to teenagers whenever I can in group settings or kind of public speaking engagements, is because if someone was there to tell me what I know now, wow. Wow, 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 wow. So I'm sure a lot of you, the regular listeners here, will resonate with this, but this is really for those girls who are following my page, following the podcast, really, really need help with their health and their relationship with fitness. And this episode is for you. So, just some context about my journey. Just like many of you, my journey started when I was 13, 14, 15, 16. I didn't really notice anything about my body or my body image until probably middle school. I actually ended up gaining a good amount of weight in middle school, and I noticed that a lot of my clothes were really tight. I looked puffier. Didn't think all too much of it, to be totally honest. And then in high school, I started really working hard for playing volleyball. And because I was around other girls, because we wear tight uniforms and short shorts, obviously everyone's body is very much showcased in that. So I was comparing myself to a lot of the other girls, and feeling like they had better bodies than me. And I wanted to start changing that. So I started looking into how I could do that. And I was directed towards exercise and nutrition. But the internet was not what it is now. And the information out there was much more limited and honestly a lot more archaic in the type of information that was out there. So it was the age of Tumblr. It was the age of Instagram being brand new. It was the age of Pinterest, like thinking 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013. And I would really, just deep dive on these different sites and social media platforms looking for answers. But unfortunately, a lot of the stuff that was out there was really starvation based. It was low calorie diets, eating like a bird, just salads and less than 1,200 calories a day, cardio circuits, ab circuits, things like that to get quote unquote toned. And so I was becoming quickly obsessed with becoming skinny. And left and right, I was trying different starvation diets, and I wasn't able to stick to them for honestly more than a few days at a time without really binging, because I was a very high caliber athlete. I was practicing for 2, 3, 4 hours a day, almost every day of the week, going to bonus clinics to get more reps. And on top of that, wanted to stay quote unquote in shape or change my body. So I would go running on top of that, do ab circuits on top of that, find workouts online that I could follow. And it really led to this cycle of restrict, binge, restrict, 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 binge, restrict, binge. And it led to some of the darkest times that I can honestly remember in my life, so much so that honestly, most of my high school memories, like they're pretty blurry. I don't have a very vivid memory of my high school experience because I think a part of me just wanted to block out that pain. And so going back to it, I try to revisit it to remember what it was like. And I was going through a lot of stress at the time. Good stress in hindsight, like very privileged stress in hindsight, looking for interest in college recruiters. I was the captain of an increasingly successful high school volleyball team to eventually bring us to the state finals. I was taking multiple AP classes and trying to keep up with everyone around me because we had a really high caliber academic program in our school. My parents were also in the middle of a separation. I also was, having the classic boy drama and stuff too. And I just felt like I was holding the weight of the world on my shoulders. And so I really fell to nutrition, to food, like really just deep diving into these topics. And it's what led me to where I am today. So without further ado, let's get into the letter. Let's get into the letter that I wrote to my past self. So, dear 16-year-old Marissa, I want you to know that as painful as this path is right now, it's the story that literally unfolds into a life you couldn't even have dreamed of having. And to the dark moments in your room, hiding, eating until you felt sick and bloated and ashamed and like you wanted to throw up, but you literally couldn't. I see you, and I promise that you heal from this and that it's a really short period of time in your life compared to the time in your life where you have a healthy relationship with food and with yourself. I promise that you learn that food is not the enemy and that you can eat all the things that you want and have balance. And most of all, you do have self-control. You do have discipline more than you know. It's really just being applied in the wrong places. And there is truly, like, at the end of the day, I need you to know that there's nothing wrong with you. You don't have something broken within you. You don't have some circuit that needs to be rewired for you to be able to stop overeating. You just need to direct those efforts differently. You need better guidance. When you find people, because you will, when you find those people who preach a message of strength and nourishment instead of deprivation, I want you to latch onto it because it will literally change your life forever. And as much as you are wondering what's wrong with me, why do I keep overeating every time I have something that's sweet or salty? Why do I keep hiding food in my room? Why do I keep overeating to the point that I hate myself and I have to work off all these calories? It's a stress response. And you are putting so much pressure on yourself, so much more than you need to. You're a straight A student. I promise you're not going to remember or care about the B plus in physics that you got in 10 years. So let it go and just get by with that class. And in fact, that little feeling that as much as you're good and great, honestly, at school and academics, you don't have to try, you don't have to study that hard, and you're still getting awesome grades. The little feeling in you that like it's just not something that you're passionate about compared to your peers who are like obsessed with school and studying, you're right. That little feeling is actually a gut instinct that's taking you on a different path. 10 years from now, you won't have gone the academic route. You won't be using your degree, and you will be instead impacting lives on such a greater level. With that, I want you to know how powerful your leadership is. I know that you feel like the odd one out on your volleyball teams because you're not popular. But your team respects you, and it's the way that you carry yourself. And you're going to lead your team to a record high in sports history in your school. And it's because of your steady energy and confidence. And so I know that there's this area of yourself that doesn't feel that confident because of your body, but you have confidence in so many other areas that make you valuable, no matter if you weigh 5 pounds lighter or 5 pounds more. And so you don't need your body to be perfect for your team to respect you, for you to be well liked, for you to be successful in your sports. 10 years from now, you'll actually lead a different kind of team that leaves a really strong impact on hundreds of women all around the world to be more confident, more toned, more healthy, more happy. So trust in the confidence that you have, in your skills, in your leadership, in how you carry yourself on the court. It really will translate to how you carry yourself in your life. And it's not because of the way your body looks. It's because of who you are. And I also want you to know that the heartbreak that you go through in high school, the heartbreak you go through in sports, with boys, with family, it all writes the story of success ahead in your life. And you are so resilient. You hustle so hard. And that's one of your strongest qualities. You're the hardest worker in the room. You're the last one in the gym. You go overtime. You work harder than anyone else. And that's why you are where you are. But I also want you to know that eventually you learn that it's not just hard work that leads to success. And you actually will eventually start to learn how to balance your life without burnout and still have success in the ways that you want. And that's going to be a really beautiful thing. And you're going to have more joy and happiness and less anxiety than ever before. Also, I want to encourage you not to shy away from your emotions. It's okay to have them. It's okay to acknowledge them. It's okay to have a good cry. And honestly, sometimes having those emotions can allow you to move through them faster. So if you're feeling like that day that you feel like you screwed up your diet, you're a failure, let yourself feel that instead of shoving it down and trying to make up for it immediately. Learn how to sit in it for a minute, be present in it instead of just moving on to the solution. You are so strong. You're a solution-oriented gal, but it's okay to have feelings too. And you'll learn how to hold those and express those in such a beautiful way. I will also let you know that right now I know things are really rocky at home, but a decade later, it'll take some time, but your relationship with both your parents will be better than it ever has been. You will be so glad that they did go their separate ways and you went through what you went through. And what you learn on the other side is that everyone is happier that way and you have amazing relationships with your whole family. So, to my teenage self, you're doing great. Just please know that you are not broken and you are so loved by everyone around you. Embrace every moment of your teenage years because even the painful ones, they fly by and they create the reality that you're going to live in 10 years from now. And you're going to be so grateful for everything that you went through. So that is that. Sincerely, 27 going on 28-year-old Marissa. I love you, girl. You're doing great. And P.S., please, 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 for the love of God, eat more carbs in season. Stop long distance running in season. You will not gain weight. You will actually perform better, jump higher, have more stamina in your matches. And your damn shin splints and shoulder issues will actually get better faster if you just eat more than 1,200 calories. Set the damn calories to 2,000 in season and eat that every single day. I promise you, it gets so much easier with just that tweak. You have a fast metabolism. You are a teenager. Fuel it. I promise. Future you promises this is true. Give it a try. All right, that is that. And if you listen to this and this gave you some good takeaways, or you are a teenager and this helped you, thank you for listening. If you are someone who's maybe more my age, more an adult, more a millennial, and you're thinking about your past self, or maybe some of this even spoke to you, let me know. Shoot me a message. My DMs are always open on Instagram for anyone, even if, you're a teenager and I can't work with you one-on-one as a client. I want to help. So, go ahead and if you did like this, subscribe for more tactical and fat loss oriented episodes coming up. And thank you guys so much for listening. I'll see you back here for the next one.